everyone at the BNC. I'm your host here as always, Alexis, and I am joined today by Peter Martinez. Today we are going to review Suicide Squad in full spoiler mode.
You can definitely tell Margot Robbie was giving her all. And I really liked Harley Quinn in this. Will Smith was doing his Will Smith best. His thing. He was doing it all, you know, and I loved it.
Viola Davis.
She was evil. She's great.
Yeah.
She's just a great actress. For me, the positives sort of start and end with the characters. I came out fairly positive, but the more I thought about it, the lower the score would go for me with the film. It kind of feels like people are going to come out fairly positive. Like, it wasn't the best, but I had fun.
Have you seen Twitter? They're loving this.
They love everything.
Except Lizzie Jones.
Oh. I love you, Leslie Jones.
I love you too.
Don't listen to the haters. But it's like one of those films where if you try to watch it upon repeat viewing, you'll be like, this is kind of boring.
So, Batman v Superman?
No, because I think even now, I think I could rewatch Batman v Superman, and it would at least be interesting. Like, we would all watch it together. There's crazy shit that they at least try for. I think they fail completely, but that you could discuss.
Let's, characterize the flaws, piece by piece. Let's start with the music.
It's funny because a lot of people are going to come out positive on this, and I can't. You could definitely tell they were trying to get that Deadpool vibe with the music, or even Guardians of the Galaxy. But the difference between Deadpool and Guardians of the Galaxy in this film, those films knew when to use those song choices. They fit thematically with what was going on, and they didn't use it and bash it over your head. Within the first 30 minutes, I felt like we went through 10 one after the other, after the other, after the other. Every time that they had a scene and it didn't feel cool enough and fun, they're like, just throw a song that everyone loves in there. It's sort of the illusion of having fun, because you're listening to a song you like to a very boring scene and you're thinking like, oh, this is fun. It's like, no, you just like the song. And I kind of understood what they were doing with each character and giving its own song, especially the way it started off. Right away you could tell they were trying. They were trying way too hard, to be like, look, we're cool, we're fun, look at us. I thought this film could have been better than Deadpool. It could have been zanier, dark humor. It could have been great. What they suffered from is they had a very good trailer, and then the backlash of Batman v Superman, they're like, oh my god, our film doesn't match the trailer. We need to make our film match our trailers. And they went in there and they just threw songs at it and thought like that would change the tone.
If you can recall way back, I think it's in 2015, remember this No Jokes release that happened?
Yeah.
I think that's going to be looked back on as the moment things began to look very suspicious, because that definitely applied to Batman v Superman. And it seems like to me in Suicide Squad, especially after Batman v Superman was released, and especially when those reshoots, which they were going to go into anyway, I'm sure, but they probably used it to infuse more humor, because for me anyway, a lot of the jokes that ironically were in the trailers that made me laugh then didn't make me laugh in the movie. It felt it landed with a big thud.
You can definitely tell the same problem that Batman v Superman is the editing in this film.
A trailer company that makes trailers was brought in to help edit this film.
This film, they took the trailer and then they stretched it out to however long this film is, for 2 hours. So it feels like you're getting quick flashes of a better movie. A lot of the character development feels like it was taken out. Everything feels like it was taken out and then rearranged in certain ways. They threw songs at it to make it more cool and, vibe better, I guess. And I feel like it really hurt the film. When you get down to the story of this film, it's really bad. Viola Davis, she herself is an idiot. She fucks up, and then the Enchantress becomes all big, which that's a whole nother thing. You wouldn't even have a problem if you hadn't tried to do Suicide Squad to begin with, but okay, fine, the Suicide Squad comes together, and the whole point of the film is that you're supposed to rescue Viola Davis, and then they do, and then she gets captured again, and then they just kill Enchantress. It's very muddled. It feels like they're going in circles.
They are going in circles, because what you basically just said is the whole reason why this movie exists, or why the main threat exists, is because they tried to create this team.
This villain, it wasn't just boring. Boring would have been one thing, but it just felt
comical.
so out of place.
Yeah.
Like,
was she hula dancing or what was?
Like, they dropped her. The thing that really just mesmerized me is because they're like, oh, we need to get these meta humans together and stuff like that. I'm like, fucking SEAL Team 6 would have been way better than these shitty people. Fucking Captain Boomerang, he didn't do shit. Katana, she just has a sword. You just shoot her in the face. Like, half of these... Slipknot lasted about 2 seconds. They didn't even give him an introduction.
That was his whole purpose.
His whole purpose was to die. They didn't even bother to mask it by giving him an introduction. Well, I guess because you have Diablo. He was the only one that was really, like, powerful. But it's laughable when you get to that third act and they're gonna fight and it's like, Harley Quinn has a bat. These two, you have two literal gods that they've shown can do, like, a bajillion different crazy things. Then her brother dies by a little bomb. It looks like a grenade killing. And then she has this power to destroy the whole world. But then when she goes and fights the Suicide Squad, she fights them hand-to-hand combat. Why would she do... And then it wasn't until the very end she's like, what am I doing? And then she just takes away all their shit. And it's like, yeah, what the hell were you doing? You're just having fun playing with them? It was... oh my god, I wanted to love this movie so much. I really did. Oh my god.
El Diablo was awful.
It's funny because that's one of the ones people are like, I loved El Diablo. And I'm like, why? First of all, his powers, they came off really silly to me.
Yeah.
Like
that whole bye.
Like he was like, bye.
What the fuck? I mean,
I guess he's an Aztec god. Because by the end, he just happened to transform into this giant
and that's
Aztec
never
fire
at all
monster.
Established or explained. No. It just came out of nowhere.
They just kind of said, maybe I missed it, but they're just like, he has fire powers. And that's fine. I can roll with it. But if you're going to just randomly be an Aztec fucking god, you got to explain a little bit at least. I guess they both got killed by that fucking grenade. And it's like... The fight scenes, I remember, like, last night we were talking about it, I was like, they were fine, but it's like none of them were memorable.
The most important part of it, though, is that they're all just fighting separately. They never come together as a cohesive team. They never come together like an actual team to fight this together. Like, there's never any unity. It's just like all fighting in off directions.
Oh, there's unity, but it's fucking so forced.
At the very end. Oh my god. That's the same about El Diablo. It's like, I lost one family. I'm not going to lose another. After you have one bar scene.
One bar scene literally like 10 minutes earlier.
Yeah, and a whole movie about not even caring about them.
They try to Guardians of the Galaxy it, where it's like, oh, just a bunch of miscreants brought together that the world shunned, and they learn teamwork, and they love each other, and now they're family. And it's like, these are murderers. They are terrible people, and that's what you're supposed to be playing up. This is why I was excited for Suicide Squad. I'm like, finally, I'm gonna get a real villain story where, you know, they don't sugarcoat it. These are villains, but they're forced to do something good because of the circumstances. Of course, they couldn't do that. They had to make them all like, oh, they're all just misunderstood. They did Maleficent it, and it was...
It's getting you angry.
It is, because the potential behind this film was... You had David Ayer. All the actors are incredible, and a lot of them really knocked it out of the park. And even the ones that didn't, you got nothing on them. You could tell they were at least trying.
Yeah.
It's just the script didn't give them anything to do. The movie didn't give them anything to do. And they were just rushed in and out of that film.
It took 30 minutes of exposition to introduce the whole team.
You didn't need that.
30 minutes of exposition to introduce the team.
Everything was, like, told to you. Like, Katana?
Yeah. She just
Why is she in the film?
She just drops in out of nowhere, out of like literally out of the blue. She just drops in out of a helicopter. Oh, I'm here now.
Randomly in the film, they tell you, oh, she's Katana. Her sword captures souls. She thinks her husband's sword is in it, and that's why she's talking to it. And it's like, how about you just let me get to know these characters, and through character development and through the story. Yeah, the problem is
there's just too many of them.
We learn
that was too many. Katana wasn't needed. Slipknot, okay, good. No, go away. Killer Croc.
But
Killer Croc was useless entirely. Why was he in this? But there's 3 characters. Slash them away.
Captain Boomerang, you think, oh, he's gonna do something really cool with this boomerang.
Just throw some things.
He threw it once, or I think twice, and then that's it. Katana, she has a sword that can literally take your soul when she stabs you and kills you. You never see that. Killer Croc, they tried doing like underwater fighting with him.
Did they?
You couldn't really see it. It was during the final fight. Remember when he's supposed to get the bomb and then he like started fighting someone, I think. You hate the cameos. I actually love the cameos.
The Batman cameos I liked.
Okay.
The Flash one felt desperate and out of place.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it was good.
The mid-credit scene for me was just kind of like a middle finger, because at the end of it, when Bruce Wayne says, "Don't worry about your team, let us handle it," I felt like my time was wasted with this film. It's like, at the end of the day, it just feels like this movie was just made as a transition once again to the Justice League.
The reason why I didn't like it is because of what WB did. You've already shown us footage of Batman rounding up the rest of the Justice League. And with this after credit scene is supposed to get us excited for, you know, that's gonna happen. But I've already seen that happen.
Yeah.
So it's like
Joker.
Joker, okay. I don't like his performance. I said it a million times, but it felt like Jack Sparrow on acid or some shit like that. Like, it's just him being very theatrical and yes. It didn't really resonate with me. It just felt like someone trying to act crazy. A lot of the editing, it never even give you time to absorb his performance. I know and I understand it's not the Joker's film, but if you're gonna have a minute, you might as well do a good job. I'd rather they would have had just one very long, very well done scene where you really get a feel for who this Joker is.
Yeah.
Rather than him just peppered in and out, like, oh, the movie's kind of dwindling, we don't know where to go here, just throw in a scene of Joker. Every time, I was like, okay, I'm starting to get into his performance. Alright, his scene is done. You never gave him time to breathe and really become the character and really give us a good glimpse of the character.
Yeah.
I walked in thinking I was gonna love the Joker, and I'm walking out like,
not even sure what to think of it.
I don't know. I would be lying if I said I didn't have fun watching the film. I don't regret seeing it, but it's probably not a film I ever would care to watch again. A lot of people are like, critics, you know, they gave Ghostbusters a 73% and they gave this one like a 20-some%. It's not like this film is better than Ghostbusters. I would put them on the same level. It's not great or good. It's just, it's okay. It's not memorable. I'm gonna forget it in like a week. And that's sad because this film should have been top tier comic book filmmaking. I thought it would have been even better than Deadpool. It should have pushed the boundaries and we should have been looking at this film as like, look, that's a great twist on the comic book genre. And I can't say that.
So for Warner Brothers and DC, 3 strikes are out?
Honestly, I can't even get excited for Justice League anymore because the stuff I was worried about really makes me worried now. And I was remember we were excited for Wonder Woman with that trailer, but that
turned to ashes last night.
It's sad, but it did, because this is 3 DC films in a row for this DCEU, in which I thought the trailers were amazing. For each film, the trailers really blew me away and got me excited, and each time I walked out of that movie theater disappointed. The only way I'm going to really get excited and want to go and see Wonder Woman is until you start getting reviews and a consensus from people who have gone and seen it. Is everyone saying, yeah, this is good, this is where DC... Everyone, you can't deny it, this is a good film.
At the end of the day, guys, I think the moral of the story is this. Whenever I say something about DC or reshoots or no jokes again, make sure who to listen to, because right now, and I'm being serious, we have a very distinct pattern of who's right and who's wrong.
Because that's what's really important.
Exactly. Thank you, Peter, for coming here.
No. Screw this.
Thank you guys for watching. We're here as always, Alexis, and this is a brilliant description for all things movie news and reviews. Bye-bye.